No one wanted to work for the Miller twins. The two little girls had everything money could buy: ponies, toys, a mansion with more rooms than anyone could count, but not a single person could stand to be around them. They screamed, they threw things, and they made grown adults cry. Every nanny, teacher, and maid who stepped into that house quit before the week was over, until one day, a quiet single mom named Janine showed up. She wasn't rich, she wasn't fancy, and she definitely wasn't what the Millers were looking for. But what she did inside that mansion would change not only those girls' lives, but her own, forever. Hey everyone, welcome back to where real-life stories remind us of the power of love, courage, and kindness. That if you enjoy heartwarming stories that touch your soul, make sure your support helps us spread more stories that inspire change. And now, let's get into today's story, one that proves kindness can heal even the coldest hearts. Janine Harris never thought she'd find herself scrubbing floors for a living. She'd once dreamed of becoming a teacher. But life had other plans. After her husband passed away suddenly, leaving her with a 5-year-old son, rent overdue, and no degree, Janine took the first job she could find, cleaning offices and homes in her small town just outside Seattle. Every day was the same routine. She'd wake up before sunrise, make breakfast for her son Ethan, drop him off at her neighbor's, and head to work. By the time she got home at night, her back ached, but she still found a smile for her boy.so when her cleaning company assigned her to the Miller Mansion, the home of one of the richest families in the area. She thought it would just be another job. She didn't know yet that it would become the most important chapter of her life. The Miller house stood on a hill, gleaming white like something out of a magazine. The kind of place you'd expect to see in a movie. But the beauty ended at the front door. Inside, the air felt heavy, tense, almost cold. The twins, Lila and Lucy, were 7 years old, identical in looks but not in spirit. One had a wild temper, and the other barely spoke. Their mother had passed away when they were just babies, and their father, Mr. Miller, buried himself in business, rarely home before midnight. Janine had barely picked up her mop before the trouble started. Lila threw a cup of juice on the floor, shouting, "Clean that up, maid." Then Lucy kicked a toy across the room, accidentally hitting Janine's leg. Neither apologized. Most people would have snapped. But Janine didn't. She just looked at them, really looked, and smiled softly. "You girls must have had a long day," she said quietly, kneeling down to pick up the mess. "It's okay. I can clean it up." The twins blinked. No one had ever responded like that before. Over the next few days, Janine noticed things others might have missed. The house was full of luxury, but empty of warmth. Meals were left on trays by staff, the TV always blared cartoons, and no one ever tucked the girls into bed. They acted out, not because they were bad, but because they were lonely. Janine didn't have fancy words or degrees, but she understood children. At lunch breaks, she'd hum little songs while wiping counters. One day, Lucy shyly peeked into the kitchen and asked, "What song is that?" "It's one my mom used to sing to me," Janine replied. "Want to learn it?" And so, in a quiet kitchen of a $1 million mansion, a janitor and a rich man's daughter sang together for the first time. It was the smallest spark, but it was the beginning of something big. The next afternoon, Lila came storming in, furious because her tutor had quit again. She kicked her book, yelling, "I hate everyone." Janine didn't scold her. Instead, she sat on the floor beside her. "You know," she said softly, "when my son Ethan gets mad, I tell him to stomp it out." "What?" Lila asked, frowning. "Yeah," Janine smiled. "You stomp your feet as hard as you can, then take a deep breath after every stomp." Lila hesitated, then stomped once. Twice. 3 times. Before she knew it, she was laughing. That was the day she didn't throw a single tantrum. Days turned into weeks. Janine never tried to fix the girls. She simply showed them kindness in small, quiet ways. She listened to their stories, drew pictures with them during breaks, and taught them how to make sandwiches when the cook was too busy. She even started bringing Ethan over sometimes when she worked late. At first, the twins were jealous. They weren't used to sharing attention. But soon, they began playing together, building blanket forts and giggling until the whole house echoed with laughter. For the first time in years, the Miller mansion felt like a home. Then one evening, everything changed. Mr. Miller came home early and found his daughters asleep in the living room. Janine was sitting nearby, quietly folding laundry while the kids lay on the floor surrounded by coloring books. Lila's head rested on Janine's lap. For a man who spent years thinking money could solve everything, the sight broke him a little. He realized his daughters didn't need another expensive nanny or private tutor. They needed someone who cared. The next morning, he called Janine into his office. She expected to be fired instead. He said something she'd never forget. Miss Harris, I don't know what you've done, but my girls smile now. I haven't seen them smile in years. Would you consider staying on permanently? Janine's eyes filled with tears. Sir, I'm just a janitor, she said. Mr. Miller shook his head. No, Janine. You're a miracle worker. Word spread through the staff about the janitor who tamed the twins. Some mocked her behind her back, saying it was luck. But Janine didn't care. She wasn't trying to prove anything. She was just doing what came naturally, showing love where it was missing. Over time, the twins started doing little acts of kindness themselves. They'd make extra sandwiches to share with the gardeners. They'd write thank you notes for the house staff. And once, when they saw Janine's son Ethan trip in the garden, both girls rushed to help him up. When Janine saw that, she couldn't stop crying. Her heart felt so full. Months passed. Janine's bond with the twins grew stronger every day. Mr. Miller began spending more time at home too. He'd come down early for breakfast just to watch his daughters chatter with Janine and Ethan. It reminded him of the family he'd almost lost to grief and distance. One weekend, he surprised everyone by inviting Janine and Ethan to join them for a picnic by the lake. The twins squealed with excitement as Janine hesitated, unsure if she belonged there. But when Lucy grabbed her hand and whispered, "Your family," Janine finally smiled. The sun set that evening in gold and pink over the water. The girls built sandcastles, Ethan helped roast marshmallows, and Mr. Miller, who hadn't laughed in years, actually joined in a water balloon fight. When the day ended, he pulled Janine aside. "I can never thank you enough," he said quietly. "You didn't just help my girls, you helped me remember what love looks like." Janine shook her head. "All I did was show them kindness. The rest, they already had inside them."